Let's say you're a parent trying to raise a child, or a manager who has a powerful employee that is not worth their power because of problems they create. Or you're a teacher who wants to send children to the world's best schools and corporations and roles in life. Or a mid-career person who is fed up with the compromises you've made and want to fundamentally improve your life. Well, this is an overview of a world I've created, but it isn't a world of philosophy or religion or ideology. I created this by not knowing anything, and instead of depending on opinion or ideology or some wise guru master, I got empirical, and I met the 8,000 most interesting people I could find in the world, and I met from 41 nations, from 63 professions, gave them 40-page questionnaires, 3-hour-long interviews, mobilized hundreds of MBA students to help me, and they told me everything that you're about to hear about. I did the analysis back in Japan, alone, isolated in Western Japan at a college that was not a very serious college. It gave me a lot of isolation and free time. And I turned boxes, I think 22 boxes of results into 14 books and these tapes. What do they cover? Well, they cover educatedness, most fundamentally, because I didn't know what education was. I got a call from a dean to join the faculty at the University of Chicago Business School. I had not applied to any college. I never thought about being a professor at any college. And here, 11 o'clock at night, is this call from this dean inviting me to join the faculty of a prestigious business school, and their salary was too low, their computer equipment was out of date, and I really wasn't very interested in it. And I don't recommend anybody else to get into these academic jobs either. So I told him to go away, and he was persistent, and some months later he had quadrupled the salary and made some compromises, and the position looked much more interesting. So there I was in front of 150 MBAs without the slightest idea of what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to educate them. What's that? Now, I knew that education, I had a little common sense. Education was not teaching economics. Economics is kind of silly. What they do is the very, very first 3 weeks when you're brand new to it, they give you this assumption that human beings are these utterly rational calculators. And then everything else is easy, because once you assume that humans are really simple, boring, easy beings, then everything you build on those assumptions is false, dangerous, beautiful, and easy. And that makes the math work. And I could tell that was a trick. It was an old, Circus Barker's trick to hit them when they're young and brand new, confuse them, and then they'll never look at those assumptions again. Then you can spend 25 years giving them money, and they'll be bribed to accept all that crap. And we saw in 2008 worldwide, when the world got $13 trillion poorer, that game is a shallow game. And I even as an undergraduate, I was smart enough not to fall for that stuff. So I knew, little formulas and little math equations is not an education. And I knew the kind of people who do that for 4 years in undergraduate school become really dumb, ineffective businessmen. And I knew that people who do that for 2 more years in an MBA program become even dumber, ineffective businessmen. At Xerox Palo Alto Research Center, at NV Phillips, at EDS, at Coopers & Lybrand Consultants, I had, with fellow managers, tried to avoid the problems of hiring MBAs and having them ruin good work. And so we always invented fake projects to put them into so they wouldn't ruin our good employees. So I was there in front of the MBAs, supposed to educate them, knew that most of the faculty they were seeing were not educating them, just throwing really simple little math formulas at them to impress them. And they were naive enough to be impressed by that stuff. But I didn't want to be crummy like the other faculty there. I wanted to be a sincere human being. And I didn't want to delude these people. I wanted to invite them out of the greedy little psychopathic aims that caused them to want to be in a business school, even a famous one. But I didn't have any answers. I had not a clue as to what I should be doing. I knew what I shouldn't be doing, but I did not know what I should be doing. And I knew I personally was too stupid to figure it out on my own. So I knew I was going to have to ask a lot of eminent, wonderful people how they got to be eminent, how they got to be wonderful, and then distill from that what a good person was, what an education was. Maybe even educatedness is worthless. Maybe colleges do it, but it doesn't have any value. I wanted to go to the world's best people and see whether some of them got to be best by being highly educated. Therefore, what I did was mobilize my MBA students in homework and exam assignments to interview eminent people after we built a stratified sample of 41 nations, 63 professions, 5 people in each as nominators, and then they nominated a total of 8,000 other people in the same 41 nations, 63 professions. And we were always looking for who's best in your profession, how do they get to be best. Then we go interview those people and say, what are your capabilities that made you best in this field that other people in your field don't have? So it took me 7 years. We got 22 or so boxes of results. Took them to Japan with me when my wife got sick. And then while we were recovering her at a very isolated university in Japan that left me alone, I analyzed those and wrote 14 books of results. And today I'm going to introduce you to that world. Why is this important to you? Because everybody else is telling you an ideological, a philosophical, or a religious view of what the good is. And, you know, it may have worked for that guy, that place, that time, but it doesn't work in the whole world. And it doesn't work in the global, current, technological, highly evolving state of the world today. And I wanted answers that work today everywhere. I don't want answers that worked 2,000 years ago in some desert. So, what do I have to offer you? Well, I've got 4 books on creativity, 4 books on educatedness, 4 books on handling complexity and excellence, and then 2 books on very particular methods.